And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another stream on Svelte Society. I am joined by Dylan. Is that how you pronounce your name? I
Yep.
completely forgot to ask you how to pronounce it.
Nope, that's correct.
Oh, great, great. And we're here today to talk about effect and SvelteKit and maybe figure out how to use it in SvelteKit. I'm an effect noob. Dylan is not an effect noob. In fact, I think he's very good at effect. So hopefully we can figure something out here. But like Dylan, who are you?
Yeah. My name is Dillon Mulroy. I'm currently a software engineer at Cloudflare, working on the developer platform and workers. Um, I've been working professionally as an engineer in pretty much the TypeScript web dev ecosystem since like 2013. Had a couple stints in Go and Elixir and OCaml for 2 years. Um, I stumbled into Effect, I don't know, like early 2024, maybe the end of 2023.
Mhm.
And then started taking it serious when I left my OCaml job and couldn't write OCaml anymore, and was back into the world of TypeScript and Node, and kind of
Yeah,
not
just wanted
super.
that functional style.
See, I think that's a misconception. I actually don't
Is it though?
think
Oh,
branding Effect as a functional programming library is doing it justice. In fact, I think it has like kind of a lot of ideas from like object-oriented patterns in languages as well.
mhm.
Um, but I was feeling exhausted and kind of let down by Node on the server. It's very hard to build. I think it's deceivingly hard to build reliable software in
Yeah,
Node and TypeScript on the server, especially when you start scaling it into large engineering organizations working in large monorepos. And like the most reliable software I've built in my career, outside of the past year or two, was in both Go and OCaml, and I saw traits that I found valuable in those languages in Effect. Like many people, I thought Effect was weird and
yeah,
alien looking and had garbage syntax, and I had the same gut reaction as basically everyone does, but I also saw the um, the pieces in it that I found important in languages like Go and OCaml, and decided to dive in, and then kind of have never looked back.
yeah. So I thought I'd bring up the effect website so people know what the heck we're even talking about here. Um, what is effect?
Yeah, so I would describe Effect as a the missing standard library for TypeScript. If you've, I like comparing it to Go a lot, because Go is a language that if you've ever worked in, you don't really need to install dependencies all that often. There's not the culture that we have in TypeScript and web dev where you're npm installing every package in the world and kind of cobbling them together. In Go,
Yeah,
it's standard library. Generally, if you need something, it's there. Uh, you also don't need to use and utilize every single piece or know, uh, exhaustively the entire standard library. And another nice thing that is similar between the two is that in Go, like it's bootstrapped by itself. So Go is written in Go now, and like if you go to source on a standard library definition, you're going to find the implementation in Go. And Effect is very much the same way.
yeah,
So Effect has a lot, and it can be overwhelming. I will acknowledge that all day, every day. But it's also the thing where like there's probably, maybe 10 APIs that you're using 95% of the time, and you don't need to be an expert on every single module and API.
yeah,
When there's something you need, it's probably going to be there for you.
yeah. Just scrolling through the documentation is kind of daunting. Just
I would,
like,
yeah, the docs have gotten significantly better since I started, but they still need some love. And I actually don't use the docs all that often or guide people there. I've been
mhm.
sending them to Effect.solutions, which is Kit Langton's site. He's now
Oh,
in the core team. Um,
let's
and
see.
yeah, his stuff is
It's
great.
he's the guy that did this site as well, right?
Yes, this site and
I
Effect
it's just
Solutions
so
are the
nice to
two.
use.
Basically,
Oh,
these APIs right here, like if you can get these down, and then there's this concept of dependency injection, which is maybe like 3 or 4 other APIs, like you will be self-sufficient in building very good software with Effect. It does
yeah.
not need to be super overwhelming. So
I wish I'd seen this website because I've dabbled a bit in like trying to convert stuff, and it's like I'm not really sure where to start. Like I
yep.
have this SQLite thing, and then I'm trying to convert like this one service that fetches, I don't know, users from a database or something, right? And it's hard to just get started with this small piece because if you want to fetch from a database, you have to figure out like, oh, how does the SQL thing work? And then how do I add all these dependencies, thingy majiggies,
yeah,
layers, context? I don't know. Like there's so many words,
yeah.
right? So I get super confused. But but yeah, that's probably like the hardest thing that I've seen. Like how do I even start? Like I have this project. Like it's always easier to start from scratch, right?
Yes.
But how would I start? Like if I just wanted to switch out this little thing, right? So
Fortunately, another thing you'll see often is like people they'll try to come and compare Effect to something like RxJS, and
mhm.
be like, I did consulting for many years. I've made messes with RxJS, and I've also cleaned up messes from RxJS consulting over the years. And like RxJS has this property to it where like it almost forces you to propagate the library throughout your code base.
Yeah,
Effect does not have that same characteristic. Effect is very easy to kind of consolidate down to, you can consolidate Effect down to a single function, or maybe
yeah,
you want it to be a single endpoint, or maybe a series of routes. Um, it has very good interop between like going from async await to effects. So like running effects from async await, and then on the other side, if you're inside an effect application, it's very, very easy to wrap async await code and call it from effect. So like
yeah,
the interrupt goes in both directions, and like that makes it very, or at least easier to like at least try, or maybe just keep to some leaf node in your application, right?
right. Yep, yep. Yeah. I mean, do you just want to head into the code and see what we can do?
Sure. I see we've got
Yeah.
Maxwell and Michael here. Dude, we got the whole squad in.
So are those effect people?
Yeah. So Maxwell and Michael are on the core team and work for Effectful, which
Oh,
is
cool.
the company kind of behind Effect, which Effect is open source, always will be. But there is a company there, and Michael is allegedly the creator. We all know it's Kit Langton, but we'll say it's Michael Arnaldi for now.
All right, all right. I'm sensing some inside jokes here. All right, so here's the website. It is the Svelte Society website, it's recently released. It has all sorts of functionality, like you can sort, you can submit posts, submit libraries, submit resources, etc., etc. And yeah, it's a bit of a mess, the code base at the moment. So I thought, why not bring in Effect? And that's where we're at. So without further ado, let's head into the code. All right. So in this code base, we basically have a bunch of services that do a bunch of different stuff, like um, all sorts of things, right? So I thought we could just pick one of these and we go from there. I think let's see here, the events one is probably uh, scoped easy. Well, kind of. It's just basically fetching from a GraphQL API and returning
Cool.
data. So,
Cool.
so
Cool.
it's somewhat easy. So, all right. Well, what do I do? What do I do?
What can you give me a walkthrough of the existing code and how it works and the data
Yeah.
type and
Ooh.
such?
So this is a code I wrote 7 months ago. So with some caveats, hopefully I can explain it. So we have some
I can't
interfaces.
explain the code I wrote this morning, so I feel your pain.
All right, all right. Yeah, so we have some interfaces. We have a class. It's called event service. It has some stuff, base URL, slugs. There's some type errors in here that I haven't fixed yet, and basically just methods. Fetch upcoming events from API. Let's see. Not sure what this method does. Like what's the difference? I don't remember. Well, we don't have to implement all of them either. So, right, they're pretty much the same, all of them. I guess this is kind of interesting. We have this cache service thing
Mhm.
that's connected to it, and that is basically just caching the data in memory.
Okay.
So, but we could also skip that for now. I don't know
Is
how
the
long.
cache used anywhere else outside of the events?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
In one or two other places. I think it's mainly used to cache some library information and YouTube video information, basically. Anyway, let's continue. We have the fetch event directly. So it's like we have a couple of private methods, and then we have fetch event from API, fetch past events from API, fetch upcoming events from API. So that's it.
Cool. So there's two ways I can think of how we could do this. I'm trying to think about
Mhm.
how there's a way I would design it if you were going to essentially start using effect like outside or where you were consuming this, but to
Mhm.
consolidate it to a single service. In fact, we could still build on top of both. Um, I think what we will do is we are going to convert. Um, there's two ways we could do this. How do I want to do this? So one way would be basically going into these individual functions and basically effectifying them. And what that would look like, in fact, we can probably just do one. So
All
if
right.
you want
Yeah.
to, do you already have effect installed?
Oh, good question.
You could also install the effect ships a LSP and a language service plugin, which
Does it work with Zod?
it actually should.
All
It
right.
runs off the native LSP protocol, and I have not used Zed, but I'm almost positive
All right, Zed. I don't know
they
why I said Zod.
oh, I thought you did say Zed. Let me grab the package name, effect language.
You know, I'll just open it in VS Code instead. That's probably gonna be faster, is what I'm thinking.
Let's see
Because I
here.
have it installed here. So
Let
effect dev
me.
tools.
Oh god, I lost my StreamYard tab. Here we go. I'll drop this in our private chat. That's how you install it. I think you should be able to use the like. I don't think you'll have to install an extension or anything. Like you should be able to just set it up and like however you get code actions, it actually is built as a plugin to the TypeScript LSP. So essentially, I
Let's see
think
here.
the Svelte LSP might be similar in that it plugs into the TypeScript LSP, which I'm imagining you already have running, and that will give you code actions, different diagnostics,
Yeah. Yeah.
things there. So
So I feel like I'll just switch to VS Code to save the
okay,
time.
that's fine with me too.
All right.
Setup should probably still look the same. There's the dev tools, so that's a separate item. Like if you open
Okay.
that and install it there, that will give you things like being able to view your traces from your application natively. I actually don't know what else the dev tools do because I don't use VS Code. I use NeoBim.
All
By the way.
right. Okay. All right. All right. So you mentioned the effect LSP. I guess it would also. I feel like that would be inside of the DevTools, maybe. I don't
It's
know.
a npm package you want to install.
Oh, I see. I
will
see.
link to the repo.
Okay. Do you? Let's see here. Sorry, I'm confused. Private chat. Let's see. npm install effect language service. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Is it a problem that I'm using Bun?
No, it should not be.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty. Let's see. Okay. So I think I installed it.
Cool.
And then let's open the event service.
If you want to, there's one other setup step here, I believe, which is if you open up your TS config, you just have to drop in, there will be a plugins key to add. If you go to the repo, there's a little README that will have the snippet.
Oh, I see. Compiler options. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Plugins. All right. Like so.
Cool. With luck, hopefully that is going to provide us with some diagnostics. One thing we could try is if you look at if you try to run a code action on interface presenter, it should
code action on interface presenter.
If you hover presenter,
it
should be like a light bulb, I think. Over to the left. It's been so long since I used VS Code. I might.
Oh, over here. No.
Mattia, that should normally, if the LSP is working, that should let you generate an effect schema, which is effects version of Zod. But
I see. Okay.
We'll roll with it for now, and we can come back to the LSP. Okay.
Right.
So we have effect installed. So if you want to import effect from effect, yep. And let's jump down to one of the async functions.
Yes, sir. All right. So I guess we do the private ones first, or
doesn't matter to me.
So basically the public ones calls the private ones and then just wraps it in the cache service. Basically.
Yeah.
So
okay, cool. Let's start from the public one and work down. So we'll basically let's write a v2, just so we have that for reference. And then inside this, we can do return effect.runPromise. So this is basically how you can interrupt with effect from async await code. All you need is effect.runPromise, and you can pass it an effect, and it will run it, and it will return the result of your effect into a promise. So in here we can write effect dot, let's do fgen or fn. It doesn't particularly matter. Yeah, and then function start. Yep. And then in here, what do we have next? We can start by set up the URL again.
Yes.
Line 1.
I think. Oh, you wanted to do the
wrong function.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Yep. Okay. I see we're below, not above.
Yep. Sorry.
That was a skill issue on my part.
There we go.
All right. So let's say let's actually we're going to import another thing called a tagged error. Or actually, we're going to import, tagged error should be what we want. So on probably up above the class service or somewhere outside of the scope of the event service, we're going to create a new tagged error. And tagged errors are essentially just a custom error that has a tag on it, which is just like a discriminator with a string, a constant type string. So like basically union a bunch of types together, and then you could like switch on like error.tag and it'll just give you all your stuff. So the syntax for that is going to be class, let's say cache service not found.
Like so?
Extends tagged error.
Which one?
From effect/data.
Data. All right.
And then that's going to be a function.
Sorry?
This will be a function. So it's actually I actually recently learned this is a pattern in the TypeScript docs. It's a TypeScript mixin, which I didn't realize was like a formal thing. But so you'll call a function here and just pass the name cache service not found. So what this is going to do.
So like this?
Yep. I would just make it the same name as the class itself.
Okay.
So this is what's going to, one, propagate to like the tag parameter on your error. And it's also going to capture that string at the type level. So, yep, you can do that. After the parens, someone help me here. You can declare a type on that. So I think you can, or maybe it's before. It's like, pass in an object there. See if you just like say foo is string. Let's make sure we have this syntax right. If I got this right off the top of my head. Okay, cool. So if you were to go down to our V2 now, we can use this.
All right.
And we'll say if not cache service. This is not cache service, sorry.
Yeah.
We can return new cache service not found error.
Sorry, what? Return new cache service not found.
Yep.
Like so?
And you'll see that like it wants arguments there, and it's typed with that foo key. In this instance, I don't think we really need to pass it anything. So we can go ahead up there and just like delete the type of this error. One other thing we can do is delete the return type on this function of promised guild event. And if we need this. Before function, we need to pass a reference to this.
So over here?
Yep.
Okay, so how do I do that? Like that?
Yep. And you'll want to also, in front of the new keyword, write yield star.
Yeah. I've seen this in the docs.
So this will basically fail the effect. And if we look at the return type of your function, you should see, look at the...
I guess we're not returning anything. I assume we kind of want to continue on or is undefined. Oh, I guess this should say cache service not found error or something.
Yeah, could you change run promise? There's another function here called run promise exit. That should end up capturing the type that we're looking for here. Yeah. So an exit is like, are you familiar with the result type from like Rust or anything like that? So an exit is basically somewhat similar to the result type, where the left parameter there is like the success value, the right is the error value. So what this is saying is, hey, this function, if it succeeds, it will return undefined. And if it fails, it's going to return a cache service not found. So a nice benefit here is like, if you were to look at the async await version of this above, and like, let's say you're like a client calling this function, right? And you just pull up the hover docs. You see it returns a promise of guild events, but you have no idea if it can fail, how it can fail, what's it going to throw if it does fail, right? So one of the things, if not like one of the core things that I find super valuable about Effect is it forces you to deal with your errors and capture them in like the type system. And this also has the benefit, like as you're going along and you're calling different APIs, you can see how the calling code fails. And if you were to call like another effectful function that can return an error, that will union to your current function's error type. So it basically tracks your errors throughout the entire system.
So it'd be something like this database service, not I don't know what
right, exactly.
Right. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So if we have not found the cache service, I guess we really don't. I didn't read the full code. I kind of got ahead of myself here. Yeah,
it's a bit of a weird one, right? Because it's basically just like, oh, fetch directly if the cache service isn't defined. But obviously it should be defined. So this code is probably wrong, right?
I mean,
think
it could be that. I mean, it's equipped to run without a cache apparently, so it could be fine.
Yeah. But the cache is always there, or should be. So like this should never happen.
Well, in that case, we can treat this as a genuine error path here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Then let's drop down and let's write another function and do the same exercise for fetch upcoming events directly.
Yes. Let's see here. Okay. I'll just do the exact same thing. V2. Like so. All right.
So, yep, let's delete the inside of the body and what is... Oh, okay.
So do I do the same thing? Return effect promise? Because we're not exiting now, right?
Actually, this one we can convert to just a normal effect. So we can do effect.gen here.
I see. Do I need to bind this here as well?
Does not look like that. I don't see any references to this in the function above.
Oh, right. Oh, wait.
We got API base URL. So yeah, we'll bind this.
Okay.
So let's do, we'll construct the URL in the same way. And then we can do, we'll give an example of how from inside an effect, we can run async await code. So the next line you can do const response equals yield star.
Okay.
You can think of yield star.
I'm already inside. Await, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can do effect.try promise.
All right.
And this has two ways of calling it. One is we can just pass a function that returns a promise. And the other one is we can pass it an object that has a try field and a catch field. So let's do that one.
Yeah.
So this is going to take a function. Yep.
Yeah.
So both the functions. And one thing I do is just like, when I write these, I just like do throw to do just to get rid of squiggles in my my editor.
Throw to do what?
Or I'll literally throw the string to do, and that will. That's how I end up getting rid of squiggle errors to come back to things.
That's smart.
So in here we can just do like return fetch URL.
Okay. Do I pass in something here or?
You can leave that empty for now. I'll show you something cool about this though.
All right.
So URL and then down in catch, we'll get an error in the callback, and that'll be if your promise rejects.
Mhm.
And so what does this fetch do? This fetch is getting upcoming
Upcoming
event.
events.
So let's go make a new tagged error and call it like
Yes.
fetch
Yes.
upcoming events error.
Fetch upcoming event error. All right. Yeah.
And it doesn't look like maybe let's add a type to that has the guild slug, so we can carry some contextual information along
All
with
right.
it.
All right. Yeah. The slug. So string, I think. Yeah.
And then and one other thing we can do is let's go back up to that type and let's add a second one called cause. This will work like the error options cause and kind of track the error stack with you. So
Mhm.
you can just put unknown there.
Oh, unknown.
Yeah.
Like so.
And then we'll come down, and when we catch that error, we will return a new instance of that error, and we'll pass the guild slug and the error as the cause.
I see. So this dot.
This
Oh,
should
it's
probably
actually just
take
guild slug.
it'll
An
take an object.
object.
Yep.
Yeah. Guild slug. Oh, slug. Slug. Guild slug. Cause. What were we going to pass in here? Sorry.
You can pass E.
I see. Okay.
And if you get rid of the return type annotation, we should
Yep.
see that the same kind of property here now, where this returns an effect, where it is, yep, it is an upcoming that, or we will have void.
Yeah. I guess we haven't returned anything yet. So
we can also drop the async keyword as well, because
right.
that's automatically wrapping in a promise. So now we just have an effect. Yep. And one thing for folks that are watching to know that's good, in fact, Kit has a really good video on this. The effect type, right, has three different generic arguments in it. You'll see void, then the middle one, which is your errors, and then that third one that says never. And the effect type is basically a description of a program in the type system. So looking at this type, you know basically everything you need to know about how this piece of code is going to run. You know how it's going to succeed, how it's going to fail, and then we can get into that third type parameter, which is like the dependencies. So like, let's say we wrapped the cache service and turned that into like an effectful cache service, right? If we did like yield cache service, it would put the cache service into that third generic parameter.
Right.
And you would not be able to call effect.runPromise until you provided an implementation of that. So an effect won't run until that third generic parameter is never. So as you provide implementations, it removes it from the union. And again, like errors, as you require these dependencies throughout your application tree, it's going to track the whole way up to the top, and you can see all the dependencies used down through your application. And then when you want to run it, you just have to be sure you provide all the implementations, and the compiler won't let you until you do.
Cool. Nice.
And the final, well, not final, the other thing to know about effects is that they are lazy. So unlike a promise, if you were to call fetch upcoming events directly to just like inline somewhere, you're going to get an effect back. And that's a description of a program. It does not do anything until you run that effect. So like when you create a new promise, it immediately gets to work. It's eager. It goes off and like does the work. Effects are lazy, which gives it the basically ability to compose the whole way up the stack. And really at the very top of your application, or the entry point to where you run an effect with effect.runPromise or runPromiseExit. You can think of that as like an interpreter. You build up like this kind of tree of composed effects, and then runPromise interprets that and runs them, and that's when your computations kick off.
Yeah.
So
okay. So sorry, just question then. Like so basically, I guess this is where we're running our whole procedure, or what you would, I don't know what you would call it, program.
Programs.
Okay. Yeah. And then, oh, I see. Yeah, because here we're just using try promise, and that's
I see.
Okay. Yeah.
wrapping a promise in an effect.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yep.
So if we,
Let's see here.
one other nice thing before we step away from this part is there's actually a value passed to the try function on line 141, and
Yep.
that is an abort signal.
Oh, interesting.
So one thing that effect does incredibly well is interruption.
Mm-hmm.
It has basically, if your program is interrupted anywhere, whether a defect or like an actual raised exception happens somewhere, or someone control C's the program, it'll interrupt, and that basically kind of Kit's in the chat. Kind of percolates down through the program. So when you end up interrupting with async await or promise code, right, it's giving you that mechanism to continue that interruption into your async await code. So you could pass this to your fetch here in the options. I think it's just signal.
Yeah, I don't remember signal abort.
Yep, and there you go. So if something happens elsewhere in your application and it's aborted, the runtime will cancel that promise for you.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so the next piece of this is that we have to convert this response, which is, I'm assuming right now, just typed as unknown, I think.
Let's see here. Response, yeah. Wait, what? Yeah.
We can let's do the same thing. Response.
Okay.
Yep, we can do that. And we can return probably the same error, or you could get granular and make another error for that. But
yeah, I've already seen like what the like the how to do tagged errors, right? So
yep. So
right. So I have to. How do I yield the response? Like so?
It should already be unboxed and should be the HTTP response.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Response. Hello. Okay. There we go.
And then here we can just yield new fetch upcoming events error. Basically, you can copy paste 147 to 149.
147. This one? Sorry. Yep. Yeah.
And then replace that with 155.
155. Oh, now I'm understanding what you want to do. All right. Yeah.
And we'll you can probably just put the response on there potentially, and you'll want to yield that.
Sorry, I'm not following. Put the response where?
As the value for cause. That, or we can make cause a like optional field.
Okay. Let's do this. Do I yield it as well, or
no? Nope, that's already
it's already yielded.
Yeah. Object. And you'll want the negation operator in your if statement.
Oh, right. Good catch.
And then from there, what is the next thing that happens here? So we await.json. So let's go ahead and I wonder if JSON can throw. I'm betting JSON can throw.
I'm sure it can.
We can do a try promise here again.
Yep. So do I just do like a JSON equals effect try promise?
Yep. In fact, we can do the other form of try promise here, where you can just pass it a function straight up. So if you do like arrow function and then response.json.
Oh, I guess we need the.
And we'll want to yield that.
Like so.
And if we go up and look at the return type now, we should see that another error has union on there, unknown exception.
Yep.
So if you don't provide the catch object and wrap with a custom error, it's going to, on its own, wrap that error in a unknown exception, which is a tagged error in and of itself.
Okay.
So the next part we can do is like we can use effect schema to essentially like safely convert this JSON, which is unknown right now, into a structure that we know and trust. So if we go up to your events response,
events response.
just the type.
Oh, the type. Sorry, Jesus.
All good.
There we go. All right.
So we can do, let's see here. We have edges, event edge, which is a guild event. Oh boy, this might be a gnarly one to convert into. If the,
let's see, guild event. Oh, right. Yeah. This might be
presentation edge.
A bit.
We'll do the same thing as down below for now. But effectively, effect schema is like the same thing as Zod. You would just kind of define the shape of your types as a schema in almost a similar way as you would with Zod, and then you can run that and get an effect back. So we can probably just type this as event response then.
Okay. Yep.
We can trust your API.
I don't know. Can we? It's not my API, so.
Well,
let's trust
we'll leave this for an exercise for later.
Yeah. All right.
So
I guess I need to type this as something.
Yeah, I think it's typed as just I think because it's unknown, you can probably do colon or cast. Yeah, it probably doesn't matter.
Response.
Yep.
I think it should be it should be.
And then we return.
Sure. Was it a? No, oh no, it's not. It's not an array. Okay.
And then the return is
just like that.
Yeah. Or actually, I think you did like a map over it in the implementation above.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, JSON. There we go.
And let's look at the return type of this and see what we got. So fetch. Oh, we didn't yield. So if you ever see an error pop up into your success.
Right. So where do I need to yield?
Right where you were. Yep, line 155 before the new. Yep. And if the LSP wasn't running correctly, that would give you a squiggle, stuff like that, or like floating. Just like ESLint has like the floating promise rule. There's one for like floating effects as well.
Okay, cool.
So now we see. Yep.
Guild events, and then our errors, and then whatever this magical thing is.
Yep. So now if we go back up to the function that calls this.
Yes. We're here.
In here, we can let's just let's say const upcoming events equals yield star this dot fetch whatever we called that thing.
This dot fetch. Yeah. It should be 2, I think.
And it should take the guild slug.
Right. This dot. Oh, guild slug. Okay. There we go.
And we should get guild events out. And if we look at the return type here, we should see in that exit that the error values from our child effect got unioned onto the things that can happen. So you can kind of see as we compose our program together, everything kind of bubbles up to the top here.
Yeah. So I get it just adds all of the errors together, or not together, but unionized.
Right.
Okay.
So let's see here. Cache service.cacheify, does that return a promise?
It does, yeah.
So let's see, what does this do? Runs promise, this dot cleanup, return cachified.
Cachified
It
is
passes through, it looks like.
yeah.
Okay, so we can just do like we can either do effect.tryPromise with like just the straight up arrow function, or we can make a new error that would be like cachify error or something.
Yeah. Let's do that. Cachified error. All right, cool. Let's see. This is where we were. Okay. All right. Oh, what happened? Oh,
I think you stopped sharing your screen, or at least that I don't
I-
see your screen anymore.
yeah, my screen just went black for a second. Okay, now we're back. All right, we have the upcoming events. All right, what do we do?
So let's do return this dot cache service. Or no, you're right.
Yeah.
Return effect dot try promise.
I promise. Yeah.
And we'll pass the object with the two handlers on it.
The handlers. Sorry.
It was a try and catch.
Right. Jesus. All right. Catch. What was it? Throw to do?
Throw to do.
All right. And then in here, we do the same thing we're doing up there, I guess.
Yep.
This dot cache service. In fact, I'll just copy this. Oops. And we need this from somewhere.
We have a get fresh value. So that's lazy. That's interesting. Okay, so let me think about how I want to handle this. We could do, how do I want to do this? Let's do, make that. Let's make
return
that
like
effect.run promise there.
Yep.
And then, yeah, make that.
I guess we need to try catch in here as well, or?
No, we won't need to do that. So run promise takes an effect. So let's say, how do we do this above? You should be able to say this dot fetch upcoming, basically copy line 115, like this to the end.
Yeah.
And that's going to return. Okay, we got that. So we're not going to run promise exit here, because what's going to happen is we already know that fetch upcoming events directly to essentially we have typed errors. We know how it can fail. So if like get fresh value fails, we're going to catch that in like line 126. And we can add a cause field to that custom error that we made earlier. Let's see here. And well, actually, that won't get caught there, but that's okay. We already know that's typed correctly.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and catch the error there.
Mm-hmm.
And we will return a new, I forget what you called this, new cache.
Cachified error.
And let's go update that and pass a cause to it.
Yes. So let's see here.
We can even add like a slug too, maybe.
Sure. String cause unknown as well, or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do that. And
let's see, where were we? There we are. Okay. how did you do this again?
It's
Okay,
just
it's
a
just an object.
type.
Okay. Slug, and then we have a cause, and
That
what
would
did we
be E.
want to put in here? E, right. Yeah. Okay, and the slug. Guild slug. Slug. There we go. Okay, it's screaming at me.
Very,
The
very
unknown.
red.
What am I doing wrong? Is it just like it's probably just an
We're missing a
unexpected.
paren or
Yeah, over
something
here.
somewhere.
There we go.
Nice. And what is this upset about? This is probably not.
Possibly undefined.
Oh, right, because it's in a thunk, right? So that try is technically not lazy. So by the time that gets run, technically cache service could be undefined.
I see.
So I suppose this is what I mean by like effect, like the right way. Like if I were writing this in a production application,
Yep.
one, I would probably try to treat the root cause first and like making it so cache service could never be undefined except for like, wherever the entry point is. But here, like if I couldn't do that and cache service could be undefined, I would, in fact, we could just copy that check here. Like that would be fairly.
Like this one?
Yep. In fact, you could probably just throw that, in fact. And that will get caught in the handler, and now that solves that error for us.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
But like ideally, if this was like a proper effect program, you would have the cache service as a dependency, right?
Yeah. If we had more time, we could get into that.
Yeah.
But I think if you, as like a follow-on to this, I think like a good exercise is like once you went through these other functions here and like effectified them, going and trying to convert the cache service into a like it's called an effect service or a effect tag. And learning the dependency injection thing. If you follow effect.solutions, there's a pretty good guide on how that works. And I don't know if Svelte, you'll have to remind me, if Svelte has something like effect or React's context API. Are you familiar?
Yeah. Yep.
So the context API is very similar to like how effects dependency injection framework works. You have this concept of services and you have this concept of layers. And if you were to like lay that onto React or Svelte's context APIs, the service is effectively like the value you get out of the consumer of the context. And then the producer is the layer. Layers just construct the service, and then you can basically yield these layers, or not layers, excuse me. You can yield services, and that puts a dependency on that layer for that service into the thing, and then you provided a layer, and that will basically take away from that third dynamic parameter or generic parameter. So it's kind of the too long didn't read.
Right.
But so like going through what we went through right there, like just a simple contrived example, but I think it is a good demonstration of that. Like it is easy to like, if you want to get your feet wet with effect, you don't have, it's not like this all or nothing. Like I have to dive into the deep end, right? Like, and the code we wrote there, at least in my opinion, I think looks pretty reasonably similar to the async await equivalent. And the benefit to get out of the box is now when you go back to work on this and you get the hover docs, you say, oh, this is how this can fail. I know I have to think about these edge cases. So you can kind of like extrapolate that out across your code base. And like, I think really like 90 to 95% of your code ends up looking like exactly what we wrote. So like the foreignness of effect is way overstated, I think, in the yapping of the Twitter sphere.
Right.
But
I think for me, one of the issues is like knowing, like, so we did the try catch stuff and like the run
Mm.
promise and try promise and all that, but it's like knowing the exact method to use
Yeah.
for what we're doing,
Yep.
because there are like 5 different ones that are called something to do with promise
That's fair.
in my mind, right? So I would, every time you have to go and look it up, and then you might end up looking in the wrong one, and you're like, I don't know what's going on here. So I think the fact that there's so many different methods, I'm sure there are reasons for all of them, right?
Yep.
But like it's just very, it's a lot of stuff to go through to find the correct one.
Yep.
Maybe
I think
that's just like the first few
that's
times, and then you learn it, right? Like run
yeah.
promise, try promise. I'm sure those are like you're going to use those all the time if you're
Right.
doing like
Exactly.
what we did now.
The this is kind of like why I tend to guide people to the two sites that Kit built. Like that one, if you go back to the one that has like the nice sound effects and animations, like
Yep. Yep.
those those are going to be the ones you're going to be reaching for. Like the things you're like, oh, what do I need to do what? Those are generally going to be the 95% of the APIs you're going to be using are
Right.
right there. And it's just a good visual reference. And likewise with Affect Solutions, it kind of has nice kind of walkthroughs on like the core patterns of Affect. Um,
Yep.
so,
So these are the ones,
yep, those are
the ones I should watch.
the trusty resources for getting started.
I will bookmark these. Is that still a thing? Do people bookmark things? I don't
Oh,
know.
I am a heavy bookmarker.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me and doing this. Like it's been fun. Like I've learned a lot. Um, and yeah, I think I will try to figure out like the service thing with the cache service. I think
Mm.
that'd be cool to have it like be effect all the way through down to the cache service and then
One
go
thing
from
that
there.
Affect Solutions has, I think it might have a like a CLI associated with it, or at least like a bin you run with npx. Is it
Yeah.
will in fact, this is actually, I don't know if you've seen Ben Davis tweeting about like Effect and Svelte.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So Ben has used the same approach with Svelte and SvelteKit and has found a ton of success. But like one of the things this CLI or this bootstrapping tool will do is it will clone the effect repo into like a .context/effect get ignored directory.
Oh, nice.
And if you point like Claude or Cursor or whatever you use at that, it is so much better at getting good, meaningful answers out of it. So like as you're trying to do this, like doing that pattern and asking for help, and like how would you do this is very, very
Yeah.
very, very good. And that goes for like anyone that's watching that is learning Svelte and SvelteKit 2. Do the same thing. It like superpowers your agents. So highly
Yeah.
recommend.
Yeah. Like context and skills and all that jazz. It's like
Yep.
it's a game changer, honestly, like when you're working with an LLM, in
Yep.
my experience at least. All right. I'm not going to take up more of your time. Where can people find you? Like
You guys can find me yapping on x.com, the everything at Dillon_Mulroy.
I shall post your X profile in the chat. And I think that's it. Thanks everyone for joining us, and I will see you all at the next stream. All right. Goodbye,
Awesome. Thank you so much.
everyone. Yeah.